where tapping out isn't an option. February 24th, only on Netflix. So Teixeira, 37 years old. Cannonier will be 33 in March. Teixeira, 3 inches taller. He weighed in 205 pounds. 204 and a hook for Cannonier, who will have the slight reach advantage of 1.5 inches. All right, now for the introductions, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC light heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 9 wins, 1 loss. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 204 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Anchorage, Alaska, Jared the Killer Gorilla Cannonier. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 25 wins, 5 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 205 pounds. Fighting out of Danbury, Connecticut, by way of Sobralia, Minas Gerais, Brazil, presenting the number 3 ranked light heavyweight contender in the world, Glover Teixeira. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Kevin McDonald.
Kevin McDonald, our referee for this highly anticipated light heavyweight showdown. Ariane Celeste is with us. And don't forget, stay ready on Twitter tonight. We will send out fan voting polls throughout this UFC 208 main card. Hashtag UFC 208. The handle is @UFC. All right, here we go. Round 1 of a possible 3. Jared Cannonier in the white trunks. Glover Teixeira is in black.
Glover Teixeira with some excellent boxing skills. Throws very nice short punches.
Fighting within himself right now, fighting behind that jab. That's his best combination. That straight right hand followed by a left hook, whether it be up top or, to the body. Great movement by Cannonier so far. On his toes, bouncing.
Yeah, Cannonier will give you a lot of different looks. Was susceptible to the takedown his last time out against Iwan Kutelaba, but also showed off some very good defensive grappling skills.
If you're a guy that actually struggles with the takedown, you cannot back up against Glover Teixeira because he's constantly pressuring you forward, constantly trying to get his hands on you. And if you get up against the fence, he will shoot for a double leg and take you down.
Halo Wars 2 available February 21st on Xbox One and Windows 10. Get the Ultimate Edition and play 4 days early.
Effortless.
Right there on that high crotch. Snatch, high crotch. Started to run the pike. Cannonier goes down. Glover Teixeira in top position.
And Glover is nasty from that top position. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Incredible pressure from the top. And Jared manages to get to full guard here, but Glover is going to try to bust him up.
Jared's doing a good job of trying to use his feet to push Glover off. He's got to get his feet at his hips to try to back him off and get back to his feet.
And Glover's going to drive forward, so if Jared moves left or right, Glover's going to take his back. As soon as he tries to scramble to get to his feet, he's got to do this the right way. He's either got to push Glover off or he's got to threaten with a sweep to try to get back up to his feet.
Yes.
Sometimes guys do that by attacking the legs. Sometimes guys do that with a Kimura. But he's got to do this the right way. Or from here. Now that he's got half guard, he's got that underhook on the right side. Scoot up to his right hip and try to get up from there. Now he lost the underhook.
The key is that underhook. He's got to get back to that underhook. There you go. Now
he's got it again. But he's got to watch his neck.
That's guillotine.
Oh, he's trapped.
Glover's good here, too. Glover's got a good guillotine.
Jared's trapped. This is a bad spot. But he's stepping over, though. He's doing a good job. He rolled. He gave up position, but he got out of the submission.
Sometimes you have to give up position to get out of a submission. He was in a lot of trouble there. Good job by Cannonier.
Yeah, that's a very smart move there. He recognized the danger, and he recognized the correct strategic move.
Cannonier feels like he's really, DC, getting all the training he needs. Legacy Jiu-Jitsu in Anchorage, Alaska said, "You'll hear more about my camp in the future." A lot of guys shying away from the big camps, and Cannonier has gotten to this level without having to change much.
You know, he hasn't. And he said, as you said earlier, Joe, if you build it, they will come. You know, and he said, I'll build this gym in Alaska, and people will come. He goes, he's done training camps before other places, but he doesn't feel like he wants to switch teams to try to get better because he's made a little bit of money now and had some success.
And Glover is going to try to pass that right leg through here. He's got head and arm control. He feels like he's got a good grip, and he's maintaining control in the top position. And Jared holding on to that right leg strong, using that lockdown position.
Joe, when people boo these positions, like they're kind of, starting to get a little antsy, they don't understand how taxing this is for Jared Cannonier with Glover Teixeira on top of you, in the side control, in the half guard, attempting to choke. Glover's doing good work here.
Yeah, I mean, it's disrespectful. These guys are fighting, and they're, the people that are booing, they don't understand, or they don't want to see this. They want to see people stand and bang.
Well, right, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the path of least resistance for Glover Teixeira stylistically against a guy like Jared Cannonier.
Sure, because Cannonier does possess some really dangerous punching power, and you can get caught standing up. You rarely get caught on the ground like this, the way Glover is maintaining this position. Full mount now, and Cannonier in a lot of trouble.
The grappling, the difference in the grappling right now is so big.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot of lucky arm bars or triangles that get thrown up, but lucky punches are a real deal.
Yes.
But even that's not real, because the guy wanted to punch you, he punched you. That's not luck. That's what he wanted to do. It's just more dangerous.
Yes. Look at Cannonier trying to find the side of the octagon to get back to his feet.
Nice job by Cannonier, right back up.
Good.
Beautiful job. That's huge.
Yes.
Just to be able to, nice knee to the body by Cannonier, and an uppercut.
Jared Cannonier starting to open up. That draws a smile.
He's wobbled. He's wobbled.
Yep.
Glover's in trouble. Let's see if Cannonier recognizes it.
Glover tried to smile to put on.
This corner cam is brought to you by Halo Wars 2, available February 21st on Xbox One and Windows 10. Get the Ultimate Edition and play 4 days early.
There was two big aspects to that. One, that Cannonier was able to get his back to the cage and stand back up. But two, the wobbling. That was huge. Let's take a look at that here.
High crotch by Glover Teixeira. Look at that. Run the pike, put Cannonier down. Like you said, Joe, very effortless to get that takedown on Cannonier, and it got to very dominant position.
Well, it also shows and here's this guillotine attempt, but it also shows the conditioning of Cannonier, because he spent most of that round with Glover on top of him, beating on him, and yet at the end of the round, you saw this. Boom, beautiful knee to the body, right uppercut, and that wobbled him. And watch, you see him move away? Look at his legs.
He tried to smile.
Did the chicken dance.
He tried to put on. So, he tried to put on that he wasn't hurt, but
he got cracked.
Your mind could say one thing, but the body responds in the way that it's really feeling. You saw that leg kind of buckle a little bit.
And how about Jared Cannonier, still a federal employee for the FAA, putting in 10-hour shifts as an airway transportation systems specialist, hanging tough with the number 3 guy in the world, round 2.
Very impressive, and I'm very impressed again with his conditioning. The fact that he had Glover wearing on him. He carried his weight the entire round.
Right.
And came back strong at the end of it.
Glover respects his power now. You see him fainting a little bit. You see Glover kind of reaching out because he's reacting. He's reacting to Jared's feints.
Well, he might likely still be a little bit wobbly.
And a lot of people in Teixeira's spot, top 3 in the world, maybe would have resisted a challenge like this, but if you know Glover Teixeira, that is not his MO.
Well, he wanted to fight. He wanted to fight close to home, and here he is, Ben. His head is straight up in the air here.
That right hand barely missed.
Yeah, and Glover is not moving his head much. He just got cracked with a jab there by Jared.
You see the confidence growing for Cannonier.
Man, these takedowns.
High crotch.
Cannonier's got to work on that for sure.
He's snatching that high crotch, head outside single leg, running the pike, and Cannonier really has no answer for it.
Well, it's one of the more underrated aspects of Glover's game is his wrestling.
Back when I was wrestling internationally, Glover Teixeira and I actually entered some of the same tournaments. And he told me this. He goes, I've been in tournaments with you before, so we were wrestling at the highest level tournaments. So for Glover to be in those tournaments, you know that he had the ability to compete.
And he's still in your bracket.
Still in the same bracket. It never changes, John.
3.5 minutes here to go, round 2. Teixeira expected a competitive fight. He's getting one from the upstart Jared Cannonier.
Yeah, but Glover on top again, and let's see if he lets Jared get his back to the cage again like he did in that first round. He's trying, and Jared's trying to scooch. Now Jared gets to full guard. And Cannonier's doing a good job of protecting himself off of his back as well. You see it here? That elbow got through. but not a lot is getting through.
But what he needs to do is get back to the side of the octagon like he did the first time. That was his way back to his feet. Get back to the side of the octagon. Use the fence as a barrier to get yourself back up to your feet, where he had his most success when he just let his hands go.
He's got one foot on the hip here, and he is scooting back. And he's getting closer.
Look at Glover turning
him. Yeah.
Very smart by Glover.
Yeah, that's experience. And he's also trying to step over that right leg. But Cannonier remains in full guard.
Cannonier began his UFC career as a heavyweight. He said after his last win at 205 pounds that eventually wanted to drop down to middleweight.
Wow. He's a big guy for light heavyweight.
Right.
Yeah, he's big and thick.
Just over 2 minutes to go here, round two. Good spot here for Teixeira, pinning Cannonier up against the fence.
Cannonier needs to try to sit up. He needs to try to sit up to use that fence to get back to his feet.
Yeah, he needs to try to get that underhook on that left side as well. The same side as the half guard. He turned himself away. I don't know why he did that. That might be a lack of experience.
Yes, yes. Whoa.
Oh, what?
What? Man.
That's a terrible stand-up. That is a terrible stand-up.
Joe, it's stuff like that, Joe.
That is not good. That's, you know what? That's not appealing to mixed martial arts. That's appealing to people that want to see a brawl. And Glover just got tagged. And now Glover realizes he's got to have a dominant position. He can't just have half guard on top.
Yes.
Or he might get stood up.
Cannonier needs to take advantage of this restart, though. He has to just let his hands go.
Yeah, the referee got bored. That's all that was. And that's where it's weird, the subjective calls that a referee can make as to whether or not a fight should be stood up. I mean, it's completely subjective.
You know, Glover Teixeira used to have his head moving a lot more than he is right now. Before it was constantly on a, it was like a time clock. You know, it was like Mike Tyson.
Rashad.
Yeah, he used to have his head moving the whole time, bobbing and weaving. Today it seems to be pretty still.
Do you think that it could be perhaps that in training he underestimated Cannonier's striking?
No, I just think that as he gets older, you know, he's not moving as much as he was before. And last time, even the fight against Anthony Johnson, he came out with his head moving and eventually he got caught with that uppercut. So I don't know if that maybe played a part in it, but I think he was at his best when he was moving his head and firing off those strikes.
I think so too, but it could be also that he's more concentrating on getting Jared Cannonier back for wobbling him in that first round than he is on his own defense.
Yeah. Oh, nice
there
right
it is.
hand.
Yep. Loading up. Oh, nice shot to the body.
Shot.
Very nice. I like how he's mixing up there, and Cannonier felt that.
So both guys finding their range there towards the tail end of the round.
Well, DC, now, what do you think about when it comes to scoring here? Because Glover was able to take him down in both rounds, but how much impact do you have, like, as far as Cannonier rocking him at the end of the first?
You know, he didn't go down, and he won 4 minutes of that round. You know, that round should definitely be his. Second round should definitely be his, too.
Jared, we work that lead leg. He's giving it to you. You're beating him with punches. You're beating him with punches. And he's winning by points. Okay? Right, Ty?
Let's get him business in there.
You're ready.
Don't let him get comfortable. Don't let him get comfortable.
It's 2 down to 0 now. He's tired.
Are you ready to do this? He's slowing down. Presiona con combinación.
Directions in Portuguese sound so cool. Preparado. Tranquilo.
The unauthorized reproduction or distribution of this copyrighted work is illegal and punishable under law.
Such a beautiful language.
Such a beautiful language, Joe.
So Fernelli Feliz Sr. in the corner of Glover Teixeira, to your point, DC, believes they have 2 rounds in the can. Third and final round here.
They might, but the thing, I mean, most likely do. But the thing is, Cannonier is dangerous, and they still got to fight him for 5 minutes. And there's a nice kick by Cannonier.
That's
doing exactly what his coaches asked for.
Exactly right.
He's got to stay moving, though. Move. Avoid the takedown, because Glover is effortless with his takedown.
Smart.
And again,
there it is.
Boom.
Path of least resistance is the easiest way.
I mean, just complete dominance when it comes to takedown versus takedown defense. Glover's so much better. And he's stepping over.
Pretty deflating, excuse me, Joe, to have that happen so early in the round, similarly to rounds 1 and 2.
the rounds have looked the same. You know, Cannonier has his moments on the feet, but Teixeira is just dominating the grappling exchanges.
Yeah, and this round, not much of a moment. Very quick, one kickoff, and Glover immediately getting him to the ground.
And Teixeira clearly did his homework. If you watch Cannonier's last fight against Iwan Cutelaba, was taken down 5 or 6 times, worked his way back up a lot more quickly back in December than he has been able to tonight.
Well, DC, this is an important question for you then, because, you know, you are famous for training with one of the best heavyweights of all time. And you've said many times that that's what made you the fighter you are today. Do you think that a guy like Jared can get to the highest levels training in Alaska with a bunch of people that you don't know?
You know, Joe, we talk about this all the time with Ovince St. Preux, and I kind of feel like at times we're picking on him and his team, but I do believe that at a point you have to try to get help from the highest level.
Well, a lot of people thought that about Stipe Miocic as well.
And look at what happened
and look what happened to him. He's the heavyweight champion of the world right now.
Yeah.
But that's, you know, but he comes from a very respected... Whoa, Glover's cut up. Something happened. It was an elbow from the bottom, I believe. And it's tough to see, because Glover's burying his face in Jared's chest, what the extent of the damage is, but Jared is emboldened by it, and he's moving a lot. And look at this. Glover's moving to full mount here.
Beautiful transition by Teixeira, and staying plenty busy here after that.
He pushed off the cage. Look at this, but Glover hanging on to them. Beautiful job maintaining the position. Yeah, terrible for Jared. He's got to go to his back now and try to just stay mounted. Arm triangle is right there, and that is something that Glover excels in. He just doesn't have the arm, the left arm underneath the neck, but the most important thing is holding on to that right arm, or excuse me, the left arm of Cannonier.
He's in such a dominant position.
Yeah, plenty of time too, 2 minutes to go. Look at this, Cannonier bucking again, hip escape, turn. Oh, he gets it to half guard at least.
Great job by Cannonier.
Very nice, but he's got to keep going. You can't be satisfied with just that half guard position. You got to maintain that rolling back and forth to try to get to a point where you can get back up to your feet. There's no time here.
There's no submission.
Yeah.
He's not going to submit Glover Teixeira.
Right.
He needs to get back to his feet to try to go and secure. I mean, he hurt him in the one flurry that he threw in the very first round, so he has to get back to his feet to try and get damage off again, John.
And Cannonier, in some respects, was bailed out by the referee, Kevin McDonald, in round 2. Teixeira staying plenty busy here. Mounts
full mount.
Cannonier again, tucks those heels.
Yeah, and look how comfortable he is. He's just riding them here. And again, looking for that arm triangle. That's it right there. Doesn't have the left arm underneath the face, though. Ooh, big elbow.
Some nice elbows, yeah. He's really dominating the grappling.
Absolutely. Dominating the takedowns, dominating the grappling, and in this round, he's putting a beating down on Jared Cannonier.
So more than 3 minutes now of top control time. This round alone for Glover Teixeira. Perhaps Jared Cannonier finally running out of gas here.
I feel like Cannonier is a guy with a tremendous amount of potential, but man, really got to work on that wrestling defense.
And now you saw before he was bucking. Now Glover seems a little more secure in the three-quarter mount. Before going all the way mount, when I say three-quarter mount, I mean your foot is still on the inside. It's blocking the inside leg. It doesn't allow these guys to just buck and knock you off.
You can adjust and make
it.
Now
you can adjust. Look at this, though.
Yep,
see, he goes to full mount.
Absolutely.
Look at Cannonier.
And look, Cannonier's almost back up to his feet.
Right away, the moment you go to full mount, the guys buck into you, and you have nothing to really control the bottom leg anymore.
So little time here for Jared. It's almost better off going for broke.
You have to.
Yeah, just try to throw him forward. But look how smart Glover is. Keeping his hips way back, not allowing himself to get high on the shoulders. And Cannonier up to his feet.
So
can he separate those legs?
A dominant third and final round for Glover Teixeira. Certainly found his second wind after getting clipped early on in the fight. Teixeira and Cannonier go the distance. This fight replay is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
Well, you watch Glover Teixeira here. Change levels to a high crotch, runs the pike, Cannonier goes down. From this point on, he dominated the majority of the round. Second round, again, head outside single. Runs the pike, Cannonier goes down. Then in the very third round, once again, snatches the single. Cannonier can't go back, he just falls. He's using his momentum to actually just take him down. And once he's on top, the grappling level was just a big discrepancy in terms of the favor of Glover Teixeira.
Huge. I mean, what I was impressed with Cannonier was his conditioning, the fact that he still had gas in the third round after being dominated in the grappling like that. But clearly, when it comes to skill, Glover Teixeira had a massive advantage in this fight. And that's what we expected coming in with that rankings.
So with the added emphasis on employing the 10-8 rounds, I mean, were we looking at a 10-8 there? It's got to be, right?
Blowout,
The third
Yeah.
round, I thought for sure was 10-8 for Teixeira.
Yeah, for sure. What is Glover standing in front saying something to you?
Tough guy. Yeah, very tough guy.
Yeah, he's a very tough guy and a very well-conditioned guy, but I think what we were alluding to earlier, got to get with some really good wrestlers. Got to really learn that takedown defense, but still, he's got some potential.
And you have
Some
to
serious
respect
potential.
the number 3 guy in the world, Glover Teixeira, taking on an unranked guy in Jared Cannonier. Teixeira was briefly linked to a fight with Jimmy Manawa, who will fight Corey Anderson in the main event in March. Tonight, Teixeira and Cannonier go the distance. The official decision brought to you by Metro PCS. Get a fast nationwide 4G LTE network for only $30 period. Wireless figured out. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges scored this contest 30-26 for the winner by unanimous decision, Glover Teixeira.
I'm here with the winner, Glover Teixeira. Glover, this is a very difficult position for a guy like you in the top 10 to take on a young, up-and-coming guy that's not ranked. Give us your thoughts on the fight.
You know, Joe, this guy's a tough dude, man. I was talking with Cannonier yesterday and talk about how tough he is. And, you know, I hurt my labrum, the same labrum that I hurt with John Jones right a couple weeks before this fight, and I knew this is the game.
Your shoulder, is that what you meant?
Yeah, the labrum, yeah. My right shoulder, and the game plan was to take him down and beat him to the ground, but hey, man, I need to step up my game and, you know, do a lot of changes if I want to compete with a guy like Cormier, Anthony Johnson, John Jones. That's those guys I need to really sit serious. So I know I can beat those guys in the top 10 division, but if I want to do what I want to do, be a champion, step up my game to fight those guys.
A big factor in this fight was your takedowns. Every takedown you attempted, you were able to secure in the ground and pound. Were you surprised you weren't able to finish this guy?
Yeah. I mean, he was not trying to finish or get up too much, but he was very good defending. And, you know, when you play that game defending, Joe, it's totally a different thing. Like, you know what I mean? I would probably do 3 rounds with Anthony Johnson if I said move around the cage and defend myself and not trying to win in the last 13 seconds because I'm trying to finish him in less than 5.
Well, congratulations on taking a risky fight and getting the result that you wanted, and we look forward to seeing you again. Still one of the top guys in the division. Glover Teixeira, ladies and gentlemen.
Glover Teixeira still very much in the mix at 205